Then we wait a whole hour.
You're like, you were trash.
I didn't tell him he's trash, man.
Your bars weren't all that, man. He kind of trash.
Yo, I don't know if y'all saw it from the beginning, but he ran. I don't follow Big T. I don't follow most of these battle rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me ask you, we recording? We recording, all right.
Hey, Visual's mic is working.
Hooray.
Oh, that's dope. He spent a lot of fucking time on that.
Right.
Listen, first off, salute to everybody rocking with us. Big salute to the people who came up to me in the building and say they rock with the union. Salute to you. I want to say there was at least 4 people who came up to me and said they rock with the union. They just wish that we were more put out more shit.
Do they know we do it on 3 different channels?
Say that again?
Do they know we like spread it off in just 3 different channels? Or?
Yes, but they're also right. I mean, because our schedules, we can't always get together, like, you know what I mean? But overall, that's not even the point. Salute everybody who came up to me and said that. All the people who said they rock with me. All the battle rappers who came up to me and said that they watched the union, man. Salute. Salute to everybody, man. Make sure you follow, you subscribe to Visual's channel if you haven't. Battle Rap Boutique. Make sure you subscribe to DME's channel, even though he got all the subscribers, but subscribe anyway. Subscribe to my channel. But again, I just want to, I really want to say that meant a lot to me to have people come up to me who I've never met a day in my life and tell me they rock with not only what I do, but plenty of people coming up to me saying they rock with the union. I appreciate that. Salute.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, so that's right. We got my man in the building. We got someone in the building.
Yeah. But, let's get right into this Big T shit. Fuck it.
All right,
That's what's going on right now, man. Let's jump right into it.
So Big T basically saying that he a little mad that they went last, right? He got set up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna gotta go last, but yeah, go ahead.
He said overall, basically what he's saying is that he felt RBE wasn't looking out for his best interest. He said he had some good points. I want to say that out the gate. One of the good points he had was, because I have a problem with it. A lot of people had a problem with it. According to him, they told him to be there at 12:30, that he had to be there at 12:30. Now, the doors were supposed to open at 1 o'clock. The doors didn't open till 1:30, almost 1:40. Now, that's not just an RBE thing. That is a battle rap thing. I fucking hate it with a passion. I hate all that. You be online for hours. It was so hot on Saturday, so fucking hot. There's barely anything blocking you. If you've ever been to Club Drum, that whole block is full of stores. So you got store owners coming out and yelling at us because they didn't want us standing in front of the store. But we don't have no choice because that's where the fucking line is. So here we are at 1:30 in the afternoon arguing with people, other store owners. So that's a fucking problem. So I understand what Big T is saying. Why tell me be there at 12:30 when the doors don't allegedly open till 1? You didn't open till 1, and then you have me go last. He has a point. The venue was fucking hot.
It was?
Yep.
What's up with this, man? Do we need like air conditioned maintenance guys like working for battle rap? Like what's happening?
It really matters once that many people are in the building. Like the body heat just fucking heats the room up.
Okay, but I mean,
there was no AC for the record. Now I will say this: when we first walked in there, it wasn't that hot, but you could tell there was no AC on.
I mean, just real quick, my bar is like 1,500 square feet. It's really small. We pack about 100 people in there every night. It's packed to the brim, and our air works fine, bro. It's not hot. I mean, I don't get it. Like,
yeah, but you got to think about it. You just said it yourself. 1,500 square feet. You don't have high ceilings, I'm assuming.
No, we have high ceilings.
Yeah? Because you got to think about it. This is a club. So the ceilings are really high. There's
ours are like that, too. We don't have ours go all the way up, man.
Yeah, like, it's a lot of factors into this, but I will say there was no AC going on.
Okay.
Even Lawrence, salute to Lawrence. Man, listen, the whole RBE staff, salute to them. You guys was working hard, man. And, even Lawrence came and apologized for that. You know what I'm saying? But the heat wasn't overwhelming for us. Mm-hmm. For the guys on stage, fuck yeah. Because you got to think, even the lights is on them crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
And I was a VIP right next to the stage, and I felt the heat of the lights. So I can only imagine how the fuck they felt.
Yeah.
But anyway, because I don't want to lose track. So Big T feels slighted by RBE, and he feels slighted by the fans. And of course, I'm speaking up, so he ain't too happy with me either. But I ain't talking to Big T. I never talk to none of these dudes in disrespectful fashion. I've had a battle rapper's family member come up to me at the event. You know, he didn't come up to me disrespectfully, but you know, he came, spoke to me about something I said, but he took what I said as constructive criticism. And he came up to me wanting to know, you know, if I still felt that way about the person. I put it out there. I don't give a fuck because I said it, man. Top 10, who was one SK guys. I've been at some of his battles for Trap New York. I hosted one of his battles. His brother, salute to Kumba. He came up to me and spoke to me about, you know, what I said and what I felt his brother needed to do better. And that was the right way to take it. Like, nothing I said was disrespectful. He wanted the constructive criticism. And my thing with all of these battle rappers, which was shown throughout the weekend, and we're going to get to that Big K situation because I got something to say about that shit. But the sensitivity was shown multiple times from this event. You know, with Big T, I understand Big T's frustrated. I understand. And again, like I said, he got some good points. But I think all I'm asking Big T to do when you looking at me and Big T go back and forth on Twitter, I'm asking him, A, to take accountability, and B, to understand everybody ain't against you if they don't agree with you, fam. He feels he put his all into this performance. He put his all into his bars. He felt the crowd was heckling him, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, to me, yo, fam, you know what? You guys are paid professionals. And all I'm going to say is whether you go first or you go last, you got a fucking job to do. You can't sit here. Of course, going last was horrible. Listen, once Mook left the building, a good amount of people left because there was a lot of guys who came with him.
That's what I was going to ask is how many people were in the building by the end of it.
No, man, that shit was jam-packed. I'm going to tell you right now, that shit was jam-packed.
On the big
There was a lot. I have a lot of things to say, but I'm going to wait till I speak to one of the owners before I really get into that. But it might have been a little overpacked, especially in certain areas. The stage, the VIP was over fucking packed. You know, the venue was packed. When Mook left, VIP did clear out. The stage cleared out a little bit. I think that's apparent on camera. And some of the people who were at the bar left. You know what I'm saying? But some of them just went outside real quick and came back a little while later. Moral of the story is Big T going last was bad. Big K and Iron Solomon went before them. You know, and the crowd was smaller.
No, it was Danny and Pat stayed before him.
All right, so Iron and
They went after Mook. Yeah, Iron.
They went right after Mook. They
closed.
And, yo, respect to them both. They had, and I could be wrong. And somebody, if you was in the venue, please tell me, get a comment, tell me if I'm wrong. But I felt like Big K and Iron Solomon had less of a crowd to rap to because they came out right after Mook.
And you know, and one real quick thing before we get into the battles, I'm not buying that excuse from Big T because, as far as I'm concerned, Danny Myers and Pat Stay went right before you guys, and they rocked the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? The crowd was cracking up on Pat Stay. They were reacting to Danny's bars. So where was that? What was that? That they lost just as much to the crowd as you did. What, everybody left after Pat Stay and Danny Myers rapped? I don't think so. I think it was after the Mook battle. So, I mean,
my biggest point to Big T is, and it comes to all battle rappers. And again, we will get into my whole shit with Big T or with Big K later. We're gonna get into that. But at the end of the day, none of that shit has nothing to do with two things. Number one, you being professional from all aspects. And number two, what material you came with. He's even saying he said, oh, Mook and them had months to write. We ain't have months to write. He had over a month to write, correct? They was the last ones announced. But what they had, like at least a month and a half.
More than a month, yeah. The whole card was announced way past a month.
Yeah, so you know what? Big T, if you're watching, regardless of what, I'm telling you the same shit I said on Twitter. I'm not against you, my man. I do not run around telling everybody Big T is whack and all this other shit. I'm not happy with your recent performance. And at the end of the day, we've watched your career. You are capable of way fucking more. We watched you. We fucking watched. You had some of the most classic battles out there. We have watched you, Big T. We just want you to take some accountability and come back more ferocious, man. Come back ready to fucking kill something.
Granted, it was ARP's job to promote. He was actually speaking very well of Big T going into this battle.
Yeah, he was.
While everybody was doubting, he was like, Big T's going to come with some stuff. Yeah, don't sleep on him. He was actually talking good about him. If they're disrespecting him, they're disrespecting Ill Will at the same time because they're both on the same freaking battle, right?
And Danny and Pat.
That way. And you're paid to do a job. If they want you there at a certain time to make sure there is no mishaps, then it's the luck of the draw. You got the last, the final battle. That shit happens.
Yeah, that's so I mentioned to him. I asked him why he didn't negotiate that. Why didn't you negotiate that? Especially when you got to see on social media that Mook was going crazy telling everybody, I am not going last. Mook kept saying that shit. I'm not going last. So my thing is, if you Big T, you mean to tell me you can't, you don't have enough leverage to sit there and tell them that you ain't fucking going last? You don't think you can't go up to Ill Will and say, yo, Will, man, they want us going last, man. You don't think you and Ill Will could go up and be like, fuck no, you know what? Put clean paper in J400 block last.
Well, my deal, this is first of all, I like the fact that the main event wasn't last, because usually it is. But in a perfect world, like if I had constructed this card, and I know it's hard because you got to deal with, like you said, everyone wants negotiations. Mook is so adamant about everything. I honestly, I think the first battle is always like, all right, let's put the 1SK aside, and I guess the surprise battle. I would put the way I would measure it is I would rank all my battles from importance, and then I would put my second most important battle, not counting the surprise and the 1SK first. Then I would put the main event, like there's 6 battles we're saying, right? I would put it fourth. All right, and then I would put my third most important battle last. That way, there's giving some reason for people to stay instead of just throwing. I think Ill Will Big T was was the least the highest on the card as far as all the battles that were on the card. So leaving them last is a little bit of an issue because everyone who's there to see it, that's the least one they want to see. So I would have maybe be like throwing maybe even B Dot and Swave last, even though that, but just because it's a little bit higher I don't know, it's a tough one, right? Because either way, someone's gonna lose out when the main event's not last, right? So and I feel like for Big T to complain, I feel like the people who had it the worst is Solomon and Big K because they're following an hour-and-a-half battle, Murda Mook Verb, where the crowd is spent. Were you guys like after that battle? Like I'm sure Jay, like you were just like, tired, right?
Done. Right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I turned to Big Al. Salute to Big Al. I turned to Big Al. I told Big Al, my foot is asleep. My foot was absolute sleep. My foot was fucking numb. My foot was numb. Standing up for that fucking battle. And then when we were standing, it was so crowded. Some situations happened, which we'll get into. And like shit was really fucking. Either way, man, like we were just as burnt out. Salute, big fucking salute to Murda Mook and Verb. Not one fucking stumble, not one single choke. Crazy. Sitting up there sweating they motherfucking, man, fuck that. They set the standard out this motherfucker. Regardless of what you think about that battle, they set the standard out this bitch. Fuck out of here.
They wrapped a full-length
no hour-and-a-half battle.
Full-length movie they wrapped. It's crazy.
I was worried about Verb going the distance.
Verb showed that he can do it, bro. I was surprised, man. I mean, he's never done a battle this long.
And they almost fought 2 times. And if you weren't in the building, you didn't see the extra shit that happened in the background.
Right,
so I'm telling you right now, fuck what you are talking about. The standard, once again, was made on what professionalism is and what being fucking prepared is. Do chokes happen? Yes, they do. Do stumbles happen? Yeah, they do. They can't. This is as close to a perfect fucking performance as you're gonna see. But there's a difference between it constantly happening and it happened rarely. Salute the Verb. Salute the motherfucking Mook. That was crazy.
Well, exactly. I agree. Definitely. Let's get into it. Man. So, the 1SK, right? So I mean, they said the pay-per-view would start at 2. I feel like it started at what, 2:45-ish? The one SK started. So, and you said you were there by 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock. You were in line.
Oh, I was probably like 12. I was online.
All right, so about
12, 12:15.
good 3 hours later.
Doors open at 1, Jay?
Huh?
Doors open at 1?
He said 1. And
Fuck
shit.
no. No, it was they opened the doors. It was like 1:35, 1:36.
Okay.
Fuck out of here, man. I was pissed off. I was pissed off. Again, it was crazy hot out there, and the business owners was screaming. I had a Asian lady come between me and one other dude, and literally started yelling at us. And then, of course, it don't make it any better that some of the people on the line, regular event shit. These guys are on the line. Some of them are drinking. Some of them are smoking. Some of the fucking smoke went into one of the businesses. The business owner came out flipping. What I was upset about, and I kept my composure, man, but what I was upset about is they automatically came out and assumed I had something to do with that. Like, motherfucker, do you see anything in my hand? I had a camera and a fucking tripod in my hand. Fuck out of here.
All right. Go ahead. You want to kick it off on the 1SK in the building?
If you're too sure. 1SK was top 10 for Spanish Harlem. Both these young dudes on the come up. Top 10 is from, I believe, the Bronx, from New York. Spanish Harlem, lives in DMV. I ask him about that Spanish Harlem shit because I'm from Spanish Harlem. Anyway, there's a lot of people saying he's not even from there. Whatever. 1 round battle. Again, I said I didn't think that there should have been a 1SK on this card. Either way, it happened, and it was a very good one, in my opinion, in the building. Now, I want to be clear with something. I watched it in the building, and I watched them on the pay-per-view. So every battle we talking about, I have a perspective from both. So in the building, these guys did a hell of a job. They did what they were supposed to do in terms of starting the crowd up. Spanish Harlem, I loved his delivery. I loved a lot of the lines that he had. I like that it's his style, though, but he came in with the suit and all that shit. I thought it was cool. It's something different, you know what I'm saying? But that's something he normally does, for the record. He's almost like a prep, you know what I'm saying? That's the best comparison that comes to mind. I think Spanish Harlem did his thing. Definitely a hell of a performance. Again, I just really love the setups and performance. Top 10, a whole lot of aggression, straightforward thing. He showed that he's growing, because you saw him utilizing the space on the stage a little bit more, moving around. Normally, he don't do that. Normally, he's right in his opponent's face the whole fucking time. I thought Top 10 improved on his bars in terms, again, I've been at a lot of his battles in the trap. Salute to No Mercy, Peso. Moral of the story, I have Top 10 winning this. I had him winning by, I had him winning by about 3 to 4 points, which to me is pretty clear. So, again, that party, salute to Spanish Harlem for showing love, understanding the moment, and throwing out that party-arty line. I thought that was fire, because when you look at also who's on this card, it was a nostalgic moment. I thought it was very smart of him, especially to capture that crowd. So salute to him, but I got Top 10 taking it.
Oh, really? I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent battle. Kind of first time seeing these dudes. I feel like I've seen Spanish Harlem before. Maybe did he have a 1SK prior pay-per-view?
No.
I don't know why I thought I saw him, but everybody thought he looked like Jay Black.
You're probably thinking of Truth Watson. Watson.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. The
Truth Watson has the red also. Same skin color. He's from the South also, so you probably thought that's who you're probably thinking about.
Yeah, it was a good battle. I liked Spanish Harlem's delivery and everything, and I thought Top 10 was good. I think his delivery might have been not the greatest, crowd control, but I mean, I gave it to Spanish Harlem. I only watched it once. I thought I gave it to Spanish Harlem, but I mean, I could see a case. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I gave it to Spanish Harlem. It was a good way to start off the battle, and like I said, I think that first battle is like it's the best position to be in because the crowd is fresh, new, and hyped. So like Jay, do you think the 1SK to be first is the best idea, or would you give it to a real battle, like a regular battle?
Listen, the 1SK, to me, it would depend on the card, but for me, it will always go first. And the reason why I say that is because that first battle, they're still letting people into the building.
Oh, okay.
Now, if these league owners, because I'm talking about all leagues, if they were to actually open the doors when the fuck they say they supposed to open the door, then that first battle would have more meaning in terms of having a bigger crowd and so on and so forth. But what it is that battle starting, let's just say, just an example, let's say there's 100 of us on the line. By the time that first battle starts, there's probably only maybe 60 of us in the building, 70 of us in the building, which isn't nothing when you have a crowd of 300 plus people coming. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But you know, that's pretty much what it is. I thought for the most part the 1SKs are where they need to be. You have some people there, but you're there to start the night off.
What's real quick? What's real interesting is I watched the Avocado did a Q&A about the event afterwards, and you know, with the fans, and he did say that he literally had 1 hour to set up everything at Club Drome. He said that's not normal procedure. He said he normally gets at least 3 to 6 hours. And he said productions like this that usually, you know, sometimes you need even more. But he's normally accustomed to 3-4 hours of setup time, and he had 1 hour to set up everything. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the club and them letting him in and stuff like that, but or just the way, and like you said, they weren't even letting the crowd in like that. Maybe that was the issue. He was still setting up, and they had such a limited time. So I don't know why there was such a not enough time for. They only gave him an hour to set up. That's kind of weird.
They did a good job considering.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought Spanish Harlem was fire, man. His delivery, I'm really like fucking with it. Top 10.
I'll be right back.
This is a different. Spanish Harlem had good delivery, while top 10 not so much for me. But his bars were there. He was throwing more punches. Not necessarily if they were landing. I thought it was a little weak. His little pauses with his what, you know. But I gave this battle to Spanish. I think the delivery sold me more over the punches. It's not always about how many punches land. I thought Spanish Harlem just looked more natural up there. He looks like he's meant to do this, like he's fitted for this, and I really want to see more of him. I think he can work on his bars a little more, but he's got it. He's the package right there.
Well, it's hard to argue that. It's hard to argue. That's why I said I have it a very close battle. You know what I'm saying? I have it a close battle. But again, like you said, like all three of us agree, I just thought that top 10 had a little more punches and bars. And, you know, but I also said, and in my recap, I also said I felt for both of them, I think there's something they both could take from each other in this battle.
Yeah.
But for top 10, I felt like he can focus, like pay attention to how Spanish Harlem delivery was. You know, sometimes I feel like top 10's setup went right into the punch. It's almost like you don't know the difference between the two, if that makes sense to anybody.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, for one SK battle, man, and to start the night off, I thought it went pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't think the punches were enough to sell me on Spanish Harlem's just like natural fluid delivery, you know, and his presence up there. It was really good.
All right.
Second battle. Huh?
Surprise battle, right?
Yeah. Listen, that surprise battle, definitely, I felt like the surprise battle could have went last of the night. By the way, I'm not really mad about Ill Will and Big T going last of the night. Like, I'm really not. But if you want to make an argument, yes, you could say, well, then put the surprise battle at the end. But I don't know. Anyway, for whatever reason, I felt like this battle was way more entertaining in the building than when it was on camera. Again, watching it on pay-per-view, I watched it twice. It's only a one-round battle. J400 Block versus Clean Paper. First off, salute to Clean Paper. You know, listen, that dude, man, he was very entertaining and very cool at the press conference Friday night.
Yeah.
Even in the building, like I said, I was in VIP, so most of the night, sitting literally right next to me was either Clean Paper or King Los. And just getting their perspective on certain bars and shit like that was a dope moment for me also, because it just gave me a little more insight into what some of the rappers, you know, like or see, you know what I mean? So either way, on that stage, I thought that battle was way more entertaining in the building. I got clean taking it, but here's my thing. J 400 block seemed a little upset about the 1 round thing. So I don't know if he knew ahead of time if it was 1 round or not. But either way, you still got to come with your best 1 round regardless of what. And again, it looked different on the pay-per-view than it felt in the building. The both of them, have jokes. Clean clearly out-joked them, out-barred them. I got clean taking this. I didn't like a little stumble among J400, but it's not like he choked. It was a quick stumble, got his water, went right back into it. I just wish that he had better material because I actually like J400 block. I definitely love his interviews. He's an entertaining dude. And I wish this battle was 3 rounds because both of them styles mirror each other. And I thought that this battle, a 3-round battle for them two, would have been crazy entertaining. But like I said, J400 block said that Clean didn't want that. Clean in this battle, I felt there was moments where he was freestyling. I don't know how it came off to you guys, but there was moments where he had like a little pause in between his bars and then would freestyle something. I could be wrong, but that's the way it came off to me. Either way, I got clean paper taking this battle.
Yeah, I mean, I have a high expectation of Clean Paper. He's one of my favorites, so I expect a lot from him. I only saw this battle once as well, and these are only 2 battles, and Big T and Nova, that I only watched once. Everything else I watched multiple times. So when I remember watching it, and I thought it was going to be a 3-round battle too, so I was a little bit surprised that it was 1 round. And I gave it to Clean Paper, but yeah, you're right. He did seem like he was doing some freestyles here and there. So I was a little bit disappointed in this battle, to be real, because I do expect a lot from Clean, and I do like. Is it Jay or Jock 400?
Jay.
I never know.
All right, so
I think it's J 400.
All right, whatever. So I like J 400. I like some of his battles. So I expected more. Maybe I was a little disappointed because it was a 1-rounder, like back-to-back 1-rounders, which I'm not a fan of 1-rounders to begin with. And at 1SK, I understand that there has to be a 1-round. That makes sense if it's first shot kill. But other than that, I'm just never a fan of 1-rounders. And I would actually prefer 3 rounds, even if they're 2 minutes a round, or a minute and a half a round, like grind time or something. But than just 1 round. But I gave it to Clean, but I wasn't that thrilled about it. Like you said, it was probably better in the building than it showed off on cam. And like one watch, it didn't excite me. So, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I'm not mad at it. I don't know. What do you think, Visuel?
I had Clean, even though it did have a shaky feel to it with the freestyle, and I definitely think there were freestyles towards the end there. Jay, and this is no disrespect to Jay, he has I'm reading it delivery. Like it's really not that fluid, and the material's okay. It could be better, but I think for not seeing Jay as much, he can bring it up more, like better than that. I know he can bring it better than that, and Jay's cool. I like Jay. We all had dinner together one night of the event. We got to chopping it up. So it's no disrespect to Jay whatsoever. I just think QP had more charisma, like QP is. That's just his personality. He can definitely take the crowd just off that. And, he was funny. And even though it was a little shaky, I still give it to QP. I think the overall package was there, where Jay did have a little stumble. He recovered. But yeah, QP.
Jay, were you getting the impression from J400 that this was like scheduled for a 3-rounder and it got switched last minute or something?
Well, listen, that's kind of how I took it. First off, he looked upset on that stage. Most of the time you see J400, I've seen him at many events. Most of the time he looks serious. You know what I'm saying? Here and there you'll see him joking around. I forgot. I think it was the O-Red Big K battle. I think I was there. I was standing right in the midst of them shotgun big ass. I had to tell him to move over because I had a stage pass. His fucking 6'7", 400-pound motherfucker want to come stand right in front of me. But like Jay was joking around, and you know what I mean. But when I saw him then, on that stage, he looked upset. So I don't know if I had to just go off of that and go off what he said in the round, because he was saying, oh, this motherfucker only wanted 1 round. So I don't know if that was a last minute thing they told him. I have no idea. But if I have off his body language and stuff, I think so, because he looked pretty upset.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
If that was the case, I would have just wrapped all 3 rounds until they stopped.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but let's be clear. That doesn't mean they told him that night. I mean, they could have told him a week before. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. And again, I don't know that that's what happened.
I would hope so. You know, like that's crazy to tell you when you get there. You know, you're prepared for 3, and then all of a sudden it's 1. That's ridiculous if that's the case.
Yeah, but either way, for me, the way I view this is that this was the biggest card, and it's going to be talked about for a very long time. And this is the biggest card that's J400 block has ever been on QP. You understand?
Yeah,
like, you gotta come with it. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 round or not. I don't care if they told you it's a 1 round to 2 minutes. You gotta come with it. And I don't think J400 block was whack. It's just I don't think he's as good as we've seen him.
The only thing you should be complaining about if you're on this card is if you choked or something. Other than that, be grateful you're on this card. It's the best card of the year so far.
Definitely the magnitude of this. Like everybody. Let me rephrase that. Most of the people in battle rap have been dying to see Mook back. So that alone is enough for you to, you know what I'm saying? For you to come with your shit. You got King Los, an industry rapper who was going to bring other attention. And you should be trying to kill him even though you're not battling him. You can't let him out fucking shine you. That's again, I don't want to give the wrong impression to anybody. I do not think J400 block was whack. I think he wasn't what we expected from him, and that may have been something that deterred him from giving us what he normally would have, but that can't be an excuse in this situation.
All right, I think we gave that enough attention. Man, all right, let's get into this, man. I got a lot to talk about on this battle. You ready? You got your coffee?
Go.
All right, we got Swave 7 and I was gonna say Lux. B Dot, right? I don't know why I was gonna say Lux. But Swave 7 and B Dot. This is one of my favorite battles of the night. I ain't gonna lie. I love this battle. I loved it.
Hold the fuck on. I want to tell everybody, man. I told y'all. You did. Crazy telling me I'm bugging out. I told y'all this shit was gonna be crazy one of the night.
That's a fact. So, all right. The way I've watched this battle 3 times, maybe 4 times, a lot, because I loved it. I liked it a lot. All right. So B Dot does what he does, man. I expected no different from B Dot. I figured that's, you know, he's very lyrical with aggression and with angles. You know, he's that type of battler. You know, he's got it all, man. And he puts it together well. He's got good presence. This is the first time I think he wasn't in his battles in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
First time in New York.
Right, against Team Hami, against Swave 7, who I don't care what anybody says, man. Swave 7 brought it, bro. And I got only one issue with Swave 7. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I liked this battle because I liked the angles that they were both taking with each other as far as the contrast, because, you know, we got B Dot, Black Power, comedic science, all that stuff. We understand that. And then you got Swave, who's counteracting that, who's like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. He was clowning B Dot. I love the way he started off his second round with hell yeah, Biggity Black. That was funny as hell. He did it funny. Swave's first round was fire. Look, I thought B Dot's first round was great. I think Swave won the first round, man. Like, to be real, I'm giving that first round to Swave and at least the edge, if not more. But yeah, I'll just edge it because, you know, when I watched it 3 or 4 times, B Dot was saying some shit, but Swave countered it, I believe, very well in that first. I got him taking the first. Now, the interesting thing about this battle is that second round, because I think Swave was still really good. Not as good as his first, but really good. And then B Dot was like, you know, he was like leaving Earth. My issue with it, he stumbled. Some people want to call it a choke. Now, we've had this conversation ad nauseum. I don't think it's a choke. I think he stumbled, said it again, stumbled again. Then it's like, hold on, I'm gonna bring it back. Brought it back, and then was fine and continued there. Didn't have an issue. I like the way, see, that's the way you handle a stumble. You know, if that was other battlers, that would have been jersey and out. They would have jerseyed out right there and not. But the fact that he kept focused and didn't like lose composure, he stopped. He knew he messed up again. Brought it back 4 bars and was fine there. So I felt like he handled it the best way you're gonna handle a stumble. So I call it a stumble, a little like a long stumble, but I still edged. See that I edged that second round to B-Dot. But I'm not like killing anyone giving that second to Swave because of that. But I still think, you know, he got that. So the third round, man, I blame Swave for losing the third round because I feel like his angle. Now I know that B-Dot had the money bags angle, but I feel like it was whatever, and he kind of had insinuated he was going to bring it up, and it was what it was. But I still think it was just a portion of his round. B-Dot's known for his fighting third round, and he didn't disappoint here. He had a lot of stuff. Even though that angle is whatever it was, I still think that Ninja Shredder line was funny and fire. And my issue with Swave is you had the battle. You had it. That Brother Polite angle was stupid. It's played out, and he didn't deliver it well. Because it's like the same thing with B-Dot. Why do really like Swave is responsible for money bags and whatever, but B-Dot's, why is he responsible for everything Brother Polite does? I never like angles where you put it on people. Hey, you're friends with him and he does these things. You're bad. Like, so if I get battled, everyone's gonna bring up all the shady stuff Jay Legend does. I gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not my fault. What do you want me to do? No. I'm just playing, but I think Swave, bro, I was proud of you this whole battle, but I still think you dropped the ball. Your third round was a little bit weak.
So question though, Jimmy.
Yeah.
If you don't like what B-Dot said about
money bags,
and if you don't like what Swave said about Brother Polite, they don't cancel each other out?
That's my thing. They canceled each other out, but I still think the rest of the third round, B-Dot was more powerful.
Okay.
Because Swave's third was his weakest in all the rounds. I just can't give him that third, man. I tried. I wanted to. I couldn't. And like I said, as far as this battle goes, I think the majority got B-Dot winning. I don't like anyone saying that it was a 3-0. Like, get the fuck out of here. There was no 3-0 about this. I think it can be debated, especially because of the slip up in the second. It can be this battle. I guess you can give B-Dot the first, but man, that's tough. Because Swave was wicked in the first. And my thing is this is what I was gonna say. So I think the outcome was the right outcome because Swave, man, he's been around. He's the OG. And B-Dot's the up-and-comer. A loss for B-Dot hurts him way more than this does to Swave, and it helps B-Dot more. A win here helps him because he's young. He's the future. And, taking a loss to Swave could hurt him. And I don't think he took a clear loss here.
I don't think it could. I don't think it could hurt him, but go ahead.
You don't think so? Losing to Swave? No. Okay, but it definitely helped him beating him. So as far as that, so I'm giving it 2-1 B-Dot. Another fire performance. And like I said, I was really impressed with Swave 7, and I'm not mad at anybody actually giving this battle to Swave because of the slip up in the second and the fact that Swave second was really good. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this battle because it's one of my favorites of the night.
This battle had true generational contrast.
Yes.
Like you got the old school from Swave and you got the new era from B-Dot. Both did great battle. I think this is one to be debated. I had B-Dot taking the first. I didn't give B-Dot the second on the live watch. I didn't give B-Dot the second because of that stumble. And I gave B-Dot the third because I thought it was just edging Swave. On the second watch, I had it a little different. The second where I gave it to Swave, I actually gave to B-Dot. I thought he recovered from the stumble and the material was just so fire. I thought it was just better than Swave's second. As far as the first, I think I enjoyed Swave's round a little better the second time around. And I remember when I was watching it live, I was looking on Twitter, and people were raving about Swave's first, where I thought it was beatable, and B Dot beat him. But the first is definitely debatable. It's hard to call, and I can't even remember exactly who I ended up with, as the winner, because it was that close. And the third, on the second watch, I gave I think I gave to Swave, actually. I think the angles that B Dot was taking on the second watch kind of got washed for me, with the rewatch. So I think it's debatable either way. I'm giving it to B Dot though. I thought Swave's angles were hilarious. If anybody can do it, it's Swave. He's the OG, and you ain't gonna say shit to him. So I thought it was a brilliant set of angles from Swave, and B Dot just shined on his debut in New York. So it was a great battle overall. We won in general. So whoever you want to give it to, I ain't mad at that.
Jay, before you go real quick, because I want you to address this too, or at least give your opinion on it. I feel like my thing with B Dot is, I feel like, and let me know in the building how it looked. In all his battles, I say he does this. He shakes his head all the time. He shows he leaves his emotions shows his emotion on his sleeve. I think his weakness is if someone can get under his skin, that could be his weakness. And anytime he hears anything that I feel like that actually hits, he starts shaking his head, and he's like, did you notice that a lot watching that?
Yeah, and to be fair, again, the VIP is on the side of the stage, so I'm more the angle that I'm at. I'm on B Dot side of the stage.
Okay.
So depending where I'm at, I can see some stuff more clearer than others. Sometimes I can't. But where I was at for most of the night, I was on the front side of the VIP, which is almost like it's on the side of the stage, but it's like where I was at was like the front.
You're on the Mook side, right? On side of where Mook was? Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Mook's side. I was on B Dot side. I was on Pat State's side, so on and so forth. But where I was at is where I can see the both of them very well. It's not like, the only time, sometimes during the Mook battle, sometimes my view was obstructed here and there, but for the most part, no. I see everything very clear. Also, not only the shaking the head, but the
yeah, all that. Yeah, he does that a lot.
He did that a lot in the Cortez battle.
He apologized during that battle for doing that in the battle, because he knew he was overdoing it.
Yeah, and that
he told Cortez, my bad. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. And then a few times, and I've been seeing this lately, like especially I saw it with Obed and now B Dot, where they're a little annoyed at someone behind their opponent saying something, and the person's not even yelling or anything. And I saw him address that a few times, like, come on, man, y'all talking. Like, anyway, I have a lot of trouble with this battle. I even DM'd the both of you and tell you I had a lot of trouble with this battle. This was my favorite battle of the night. I told everyone from the gate what to expect from here. And I understand the styles were so off that people look at it. And Swave doesn't always get the respect he deserved in terms of bars and stuff like that. But what it all boiled down to is I've been flip-flopping on this fucking battle so much. In the building, I had first round, Razor's Edge to Swave Sever. Second round, Razor's Edge to B Dot, but I was struggling because of the stumble. I think he did such a good job in the second round, you almost forget the stumble, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is true.
Because that's what happened to me in the building. I forgot he stumbled. And I don't remember if it was King Los or QP, Clean Paper. One of them two was the one who said, oh, yo, he stumbled in that second. And I was like, oh, shit, you're right, he did. But he did such a great job, I forgot about it.
The best stumble you can have.
But I had it a Razor's Edge second round for him. Now, when you factor in the stumble, I kind of have it an even round, but I'll get back to that. Third round, I had a Razor's Edge to B Dot. So literally all 3 rounds, I have the winner by 1 fucking point, literally. And that's in the building. Since I've been home, I've watched the pay-per-view 3 times. 3 fucking times. My scores come out pretty much the same, but my struggle is really with that 3rd round and 2nd. And let me be more specific. So in the building, I had B-Dot taking the battle. With the 2nd and 3rd round, I gave to B-Dot in the building. And of course, I want to salute Swave on that 1st round, man. I was impressed by that 1st round. Definitely was. And I thought he set the tone. You know what I'm saying? I love when somebody applies pressure like that. Like when someone has, when both guys' 1st round is so fucking fire, you like forcing your opponent to have to step it up, whether they want to or not. You got to step it up somehow. Delivery, performance, something. Because you already know what your material is. But you got to fucking step it up. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? Because B-Dot responded. In the 2nd round, he responded. But either way, when I watched it on camera, same shit. I have Swave taking the 1st round by 1 point. I have B-Dot taking the 2nd round by 1 point. But then I kind of want to call that round even because of the stumble. You know what I'm saying? And then to me, that brings it down to the 3rd round. Now, in the building, I had B-Dot taking up the 3rd round. But watching it at home, I watched it 3 times at home. 1 time, I wasn't sure. And the other 2 times, I got Swave taking that 3rd round by 1 point. So I really don't know. I really don't know. But the majority of the times I watched it, I come up with Swave taking this battle.
It's a super close battle. And I want to bring up, again, what we were just talking about B-Dot always having to say something. It always seems that way anytime he needs to deny something and he's listening to your lyrics as you're spitting around. He always tends to try to discredit what you're saying by saying it. You know, sometimes you just got to let it ride and because you're going to fuck up the battle if just for trying to deny something. And Swave kind of like paused for a couple seconds. And that can fuck up, you know, if you want a good battle, you choose a good opponent, don't fuck it up by, you know, trying to deny and save face. You know, just let it ride sometimes because you're going to end up with a choke and then the battle has no replay value. So just, you know, take it on the chin sometimes. You know, you don't have to deny everything when you're up there.
And
Gotcha.
it might not have been that much of an effect on the pay-per-view. Of course, in the video on demand, you can see it. But in the building, he really had people passing that phone around. He had the crowd passing his phone around.
What do you mean? What phone?
In the 2nd or the 3rd, Swave starts saying that B-Dot doesn't do enough for his community. Okay. He says all that shit, and you know what I mean? First off, big salute to Swave Sever and anybody involved with the relief of Puerto Rico and all these other disasters. Puerto Rico is near and dear to my heart. I'm Puerto Rican, clearly. I get really upset when I start talking about this shit because it's been fucking forgotten. They have forgotten Puerto Rico, man. They just announced it like 2 days ago that Puerto Rico finally has power to, I think, 95% of the island now. Finally. We almost been a fucking year. Moral of the story, I want to salute Swave and anybody, even you at home watching, if you can still donate money and supplies. If you have done so or even said the prayer, I appreciate you so much. But when Swave went into that whole thing and then said, you know, because he was telling B-Dot, you don't do shit for your community, but we've done stuff. B-Dot goes in his phone, starts scrolling through his phone, finds, I guess, a picture, passes it to somebody in the crowd, and when the person went to give him back the phone, he pointed, he kept going like that with his hand for them to pass it around. I saw with my own eyes, they passed that phone around to a few people.
What was in the picture?
Something
that he's done for his community? All right, see, that's a little bit ridiculous. I like to do that. But during the battle.
So anybody go back and watch that, you will see him pass the phone to somebody in the crowd. And you know, like I said, he had I was there so I could see it. Like the guy, whoever he gave it to, looked at it and went to give it back to him, and he like went like that with his finger, like to tell him keep passing it around. He's doing that in the middle of Swave's round.
Mm-hmm.
And B-Dot's defense, no pun intended, but is that good defense or not to act like he acts?
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But if you tell him, he gonna get upset.
I mean, there's a balance, right? Where I think he goes a little bit overboard. Like he said, it's not like just this battle. It's every battle, especially the Cortez battle. even Mike P a little bit. Like Mike P could have been shaking his head and going crazy the whole third round. B-Dot was rapping. He can, he did a little bit actually. Mike P did, but he wasn't like, if that was the opposite and B-Dot was dealing with something like that, it would have been a whole different story. Like B-Dot would have. He shows it honestly, but I think that's his weakness, and I think opponents need to key in on that. You like because B-Dot's very hard to beat because, like I said, he's very lyrical. He's got aggression. He's got angles. He's got it all, bro. He's like he's like a perfect battler. But his weakness is his emotions. And if you can get under his skin, I think that's how you beat him. And Swave was, to me, right there, man. And like I said, to me, I don't throw a classic around, but I have a playlist on my YouTube channel called the DME Classics, which is what I consider classics, even though they might, some of them, like I consider DNA and Enes a classic for the wrong reasons, right? But when this battle drops, this battle's going into my DME Classic playlist. So I love this battle a lot, man. So shout out to both of them, man. And
DME, you just inspired me. I think I'm gonna go make a playlist like that.
Yeah, just what you feel like you love to watch,
Yeah,
whether they're classics or not,
DNA and Enes would never make that list.
I love it.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna start doing that. Now, the debate has been, and I want to get Visuel's opinion. The debate the rest of the night in terms of Swave and B-Dot was not just the winner. It was whether or not it was a classic. And most people were saying it was a classic.
Oh, they were? Okay, good. I didn't know that. I didn't know people were looking at it like that.
There was a lot of people saying it was a classic. Me personally, I'm gonna lean towards it because again, I watched it in the building, then I watched it 3 other fucking times.
That's a lot. And so it just came, what is it, Tuesday? Came out Saturday?
Now I have to say this. I know I told you guys this, but I'm battle rapped out, man. I'm battle rapped out. And the truth of the matter is, when this shit comes out on cam, I'm probably not watching them. Like even the Mook and Verb shit. Like I watched that battle 4 fucking times. Do you understand? We're watching
6 hours, bro. That's 6
oh
hours.
my god, man!
And shout out to Rap Grid. I love the way you guys do your video on demand. URL and even King of the Dot have a more antiquated version of that, where URL has 1 block, 6-7 hour video on demand. Where if you want to watch the third battle, you gotta first of all, you got to get it up. Then it's the high quality so high, it buffers. Then you got to get to the battle. It's not user friendly. These guys, they separate all the battles. It's just like watching it on YouTube. It's got you can do the 15-second skim through if you want while you're watching it, which the other on-demand services don't offer. So shout out to them. And come on, guys, this was the best looking RBE card we've ever seen, right? Like that's visually. Like compare this to the last pay-per-view where we had 1 camera angle. I mean, it's night and day.
1 camera angle too.
Here, no, we had only 1. No, there was multiples, weren't there?
No, there was 1, I think.
No, 1, but it was a lot clearer.
Good. So
it was centered. That's the thing.
It was centered, yeah, because the other one was like this, so you couldn't see, anything over here. Anyways, I thought it looked crisp, and I just shout out to Rap Grid because they do that for all their. Rap Grid has a history of all your purchases, and I've spent $200 just on Rap Grid pay-per-views in the last year. Just Rap Grid.
I can watch all the events that I've purchased still to this day on.
Yeah, they keep everything up. I can't go back and watch Initiation that I paid for on URL shit. I don't know, and King of the Dot. I don't know, but yeah, that's the fact, and. Is Rap Grid only use RBE? Like, who else uses Rap Grid?
Nah, UW uses them. Bullpen just use them, I think.
How did I buy so many pay-per-views? Like, that must be all the RBEs and maybe one of the UWs then. All right.
Yeah, UW, one of the OW bullpens. I saw there's quite a few. RBE always uses them.
Yeah, so I bought all the RBEs and then the
there's
2.
Somebody else though. I'm not remembering, but it's somebody else who has something else up there.
Yeah, because I was like, damn, I spent $200 just through Rap Grid pay-per-views. That's not including URL or King of the Dot. I was like, all right. But all right, that's what's up, man.
Jay, to answer your question, I thought it was a great battle. I'm not gonna throw the classic word around on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, classic. You learn that in time.
Maybe an RBE classic, but yeah, we'll find out.
It's definitely RBE classic for sure. Yeah.
Is it above the top 35 of Danny
It-
Meyer versus Chili Jones?
I was gonna say, is it better than Danny Chilla? I don't know.
Yeah.
But all right, what do we got next? Oh, Woo, I got a lot of opinions on this. Go ahead, man. I want to feed off you guys. King Los and Head Ice. Who wants to go first?
All right, I guess I will. So, again, in the building and pay-per-view, I watched them both. I have a lot to say about this. First off, I don't see how anybody can not give King Los his props. The dude came with it. Again, I said this on my recap. I got to be around him a little bit at the press conference and at the RBE event. So, first off, that dude don't fucking stay still. He's always fucking moving. Stay the fuck still. Secondly, the way his mind works in terms of rap is pretty dope, and being able to like hear some of his outlooks on things. And he and I, which I found crazy, most of the battles that we were sitting right next to each other, he and I was pretty much on course for everything, which was crazy for me. I don't think he puts out there, or do people really understand that this dude does watch battle rap. He watches it. So at the end of the day, I was very happy for him, but I was more proud of Head Ice. When we watched battle rappers against industry guys, not only has it not been a great showing, the whole battle's been fucking manure. And the truth of the matter is, King Los and Head Ice both came with it. I thought they both gave us a hell of a fucking showing. There was a lot to be proud about for both of them. Let me pull up my notes here. But that first round, my issue with that, I got Head Ice taking that first round, mostly because King Los spoke about daylight.
I don't see how that's any debate.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people debating it. There's a lot of people debating it. What I want to be fair in saying, I'm not scoring his daylight bars. The reason why I didn't have a problem with his daylight bars is because at the press conference, they wanted him to spit a round that he had for daylight. He said no. He wanted to be fair to the culture, and he was going to spit some of it in the battle.
It's garbage.
But here's the thing, Mr. Well. The only reason why I'm not killing him for doing that, even though I didn't score those bars, reason why I'm not killing him for doing that is because people on social media and in the press conference wanted him to rhyme them daylight bars. And he said, no, I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it for everybody.
Because daylight spit his first round.
Yeah, but again, everybody wanted him to spit that. Everybody wanted
Who
those.
knows if that was really Los's round from Day? He could have said anything or made up anything or wrote some random shit. That wasn't like tailored for King Los.
What are you talking about, daylight?
Yeah, I'm like, that's.
Oh,
I don't find it a good enough reason, anyways.
No. I mean, I don't give a fuck what daylight put out there. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm just saying that I understood where the daylight bars came from because people on social media and in the press conference kept telling him to spit the bars. So what he said in the press conference, you guys, you can even go on my channel and see my footage. Matter of fact, I prefer that you do. Go on my channel, see my footage of the press conference, and you will see when King Lo said that he was going to spit a piece of his round for daylight on there. Moral of the story was Head Ice took that first round definitely clearly. Even though Head Ice had like a few daylight bars too, but it wasn't as much. You know what I'm saying? Second round is where shit got interesting. Because in the first round, you could see that King Los can rap and you could tell he could battle rap. But the second round, he went at Head Ice. Second round is where I felt he was on the attack. You know what I'm saying? Personally speaking, I don't know about that whole shit because I see everybody going crazy on social media and some people talking about it in the building where Head Ice was talking about Los got a gay sex tape. I don't know why you motherfuckers are so interested to talk about that. Like, whether that's a real person or not, who fucking knows? But why, after this dope-ass performance, is that what people are talking about? Fuck out of here with that shit. But second round, Second round, I got Head Ice taking the second round. Also, to me, the third round is what I gave King Los, and I thought that third round from King Los was fire, especially him doing some freestyle in there. I thought it was good. There was a lot of people in the building who gave the battle to King Los, and here's my issue. People were saying that in the second round, I think it was, that Head Ice's bars about California or the West Coast has nothing to do with King Los, because King Los is from Baltimore. Where I disagree is King Los lives in California. And if I'm not mistaken, he flew here to New York with Danny Myers and B-Dot, and they flew back together or something to that effect. So if he's living out there, then how does the West Coast bars not apply to him? Number one. Number two, and I broke this down more in my recap, so I don't want to talk too much about it here, but that shit that Head Ice was talking about with that dude Wolf and all of that, those was all Puffy's bodyguards. So people are saying how it don't apply. King Los is on here telling you, talking about Puffy and bringing them over. So how the fuck that doesn't apply? And just because you don't know who Wolf is, like those might have been some New York bars. But if you're a street dude like myself, you're aware of who that dude Wolf is. That other dude, Puffy's other bodyguard, who's lately been all in the news, blowing shit up. Like, all of those are relevant bars. How the fuck, how is it that you'll score King Los talking about Puffy, but when Head Ice is attacking him, talking about the same shit but from a different angle, how the fuck you don't score that? I don't understand that. So bottom line, I gave Head Ice first 2 rounds, and I gave the third to King Los. In a very good performance, by the way.
Hold on, DME. I know you got some shit to say about this.
Go ahead.
King Los won first, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, when he started, like, he was a minute in, and I'm like, no, like his rapidy rap style, and he just wasn't addressing Ice, and then I started to notice that it was Daylight bars, and I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, this would have been so much better with Daylight, because this is, of that level, and I'm like, oh, like, I wasn't feeling that round. So when Head Ice spit, it was much better to me. It was like no debate in that Head Ice took the first round. For one, him not being on Head Ice and focusing on Daylight's bars, maybe I understand you have to switch your bars. Maybe you salvage one, so you wouldn't have to construct 3 whole rounds again. Maybe the extra money wasn't there. Who knows? Maybe he just wasn't paid for the change. So whatever. But Ice got it. The second and third, he definitely switched up. He started being more direct at Head Ice, throwing in some freestyles. This is really hard to swallow. Pause, because we all wanted Head Ice to win for the culture, and it looks like King Los might have got a 2-1 on the second and third, because he was just very charismatic, and he was the only problem I had with King Los on his second and third, and I think his third especially, it was paced. Like, he would take a lot of breaks into the next setup, where Ice did Ice the whole time, which is just coming at his head. Wasn't too impressive with Ice. I think he did his thing. I might have to go back. I'm not even sure if I rewatched this, but I might have to go back and check this battle out, because initially I had no debate on the first and second and third, edging to King Los straight out of performance. And I'm not necessarily going to say bars, but he felt a lot more comfortable up there on that stage on the second and third round, because from the first round, I'm like, he's dead. And then he just switched it right up. So, DME, what you got?
All right. First of all, Jay's above it. Let's rewind this real quick. This is King Los's first real battle. All right, on a stage like that. Like, I know he's had battles, right? But this is his first real battle. I didn't know what to expect. All right, I had no clue what to expect here.
For the record, the battles that happen off the stage are the real battles. But go ahead.
Correct. All right. So
URL, it don't count, bro.
that's another thing. Anyways, I agree with you guys. I watched the battle 3 times, and I agree with you guys. And the first round, the first time I watched it, and I saw King Los go, I was very impressed. Like, and here's the thing: I watched interviews afterwards. King Los, really smart guy. He even said he adjusted the way he rhymed, the way he was delivering it after his first round, because he realized his pace and the way he was doing it wasn't getting the reaction he thought it was. So he had to change some things up. And I felt like you noticed that going into the second and third. So he kind of changed on the fly there, which was, I thought, very impressive. I was very confused when I heard the daylight stuff the first time. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? This is ridiculous. What are you doing? Why are you like? I didn't hear the part where he said he was going to drop the daylight bars in the press conference. I missed that part, but I heard it later. So I was very confused. On the second watch, when I watched that round, first of all, I love the way he raps. I love the way he delivers the lyrical flows. That's one of my favorite styles, and I think he does it like to perfection. And that round as a standalone is really good. But I cannot. There's no way I'm giving him that round. And when I watched it the second time as well, I thought Head Ice's first round was very good. His best round, I think, of the battle. And I even tweeted it when I was watching it the second time. I was like, man, Head Ice is wicked in this first round. This is a good ass round. He won that first round clear. I don't see how anybody can debate that. But I did like King Los in that round. Okay, to me, I thought King Los left Earth in the second, bro. He was going crazy in that second. His rebuttals. He had the Lacoste rebuttal with the shirt, the rapper Jazz Face rebuttal. They wanted him to do 3 of them things, but someone in the crowd said, "Don't do it. Just keep going." And he did. He got into his round there. I loved everything he did in his second, man. And his third. The only issue I have with his third is the way he ended it. He ended his third really bad with the. I think what he was trying to do. He was trying to I don't know what he was trying to bring something back, or I don't know, but he ended his third bad, but I thought everything else in his third was great. Head Ice, as far as I'm concerned, thought his first round was great. But again, I still don't know what the fuck he be talking about half the time. All right, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's talking about, man. I still think he had a good showing, though. I'm not mad at Head Ice now. I'm not. And I feel like King Los had the best industry rapper performance we've ever seen. I thought he was better than Joe Budden, better than Cannabis, better than Cassie. Yeah. So,
fuck yeah.
By a lot. Like, to me,
by a lot.
Yes, by a lot. He looked like a battle rapper, right? He didn't. He looked like he belonged. He looked like Jay said, he watches. He's involved in the culture. He knows what's going on. And I loved his composure. That's something I really look for. Compare his composure to like what we're just talking about. B-Dot's composure, completely night and day. Right? You got Head Ice barking on you, bro, and it didn't faze him at all. He literally looked like he was countering anything. Head Ice is barking at him. Any other battler, like a lot of y'all would fold. Or at least show some emotion. He didn't. I thought he was very composed. I thought the way he delivered his bars were phenomenal in the second and third round, at least. And I gave the second round clear to Los. And that third round, Head Ice could have won it. I think the nail in the coffin might have been that fire, how you got railroaded and then you went King of the Dot with the chain. I thought that was a fire angle. You know, I thought it hit, and I'm giving that third round to Los. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. If King Los was a active battler, and the fact that he was able to learn on the fly, and I feel like he would be able to learn more and more if he kept battling. He'd probably be one of my favorite battlers if he can do what he did here and get better from here. So I hope he returns, man. Y'all want to see him again? Like, would you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No time soon, I don't think. Like maybe next year. You know, like down the line. I'm not in a rush to see him again.
I wouldn't mind seeing him again whenever. But I feel like I don't consider this I know he's in, but this wasn't an industry rapper type performance. This was a battle rapper up there doing his thing. So shout out to King Los. Shout out to Head Ice for short notice. Let's not forget, right? Short notice.
Yeah. Listen.
So I still got a 2-1 Los, man. I love this performance. It was one of my favorite performances of the night.
Yeah, I see. I definitely. I see a lot of people who had started posting shit like, "Oh, we should King Los should go on you all." But fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. And this is what I mean by that. Everybody's so quick. Like when Oxy Me Ron was on King of the Dot, Next thing is, oh, but he belongs on URL. Fucking King Los,
They rock.
let's King on RBE. That's, oh, he belongs on URL. Stop fucking claiming people for one league. Would I like to see these guys on URL? Sure, but I'm not running for that. Like, appreciate what the fuck just happened. Why automatically they gotta be on this fucking league? Like, I'm a fan of battle rap. Is there an argument that there's some leagues more bigger than others? Clearly, URL, King of the Dot, RBE, those are the three big fucking leagues out here. Okay, that ain't rocket science. But I'm not loyal to one fucking league. I'm just not. And just because I see a guy here, it doesn't automatically, well, he really belongs here. Why you just can't appreciate the fucking performance? How about that? Appreciate that shit, man.
And to be real, King Lotus, I don't see that argument either. Like, oh, he belongs there. He's not like a. Doesn't remind me of a URL battler, huh?
Who? Listen, I hate saying this because I don't want to sound like an asshole. Are there a handful of guys who belong in a certain league because of their style of rapping? Yes, I can see that it translates better. Like, again, I ain't trying to be an asshole, but a fucking like a Carter Deans or something. I know you guys love him. I don't think he would translate good on a URL stage. He might have a shot on the RBE stage, but he definitely looks good at the King of the Dot stage. So I understand that perspective. But overall, like, to automatically see a guy have a great performance and say, well, he really belongs here. Like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, man. Appreciate what you just saw. And if you bought the pay-per-view or if you bought your ticket, guess what? You got to see it firsthand why it happened. Can you enjoy that, please, before you go fucking cock riding in the league?
I mean, King Los reminds me more. It doesn't even remind me of when we say URL battle. I don't know what we're saying. Street, more gun bars. King Los had the fire. I got a gun so big it only exists in battle rap. That was unbelievable, right? That was funny as hell. And I don't see him. I don't know where that correlation comes from. And if anything, he'd be good on King of the Dot and RBE, whatever. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. You know how I feel about that. So
and by the way, if he go on URL, he got to do a PG.
Big salute to King Los. He did his thing. And salute to Head Ice too for, I thought he did his thing up there.
I'm a hard on Head Ice because I don't know.
One of the biggest criticisms I have for King Los is that he was rapping to the crowd a lot of the time, or it was more performance and not direct. He wasn't really facing or rapping at Head Ice.
It's something he could learn with experience, Especially, come on, man! Like, that's a great debut, man. Great debut. So shout out to them, man. All right, let's continue, man, because we still got a lot of battles.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. No disrespect to my union fellas, but I just saw my phone blowing up, so I had to check. Big T.
T's yelling at you again?
Big T just followed me. Salute, Big T.
Shout out to Big T, man.